Okay, episode 2 is not looking good because after the reporters left and Singha went up to talk to the chief of their precinct to ask why is King there. See, King and Singha does not go well with each other because of their past, but the chief knows that, and some of the people who knows them knows that, but the chief said he can't do anything because the higher ups is the one that put King in the precinct. Apparently, the investigation that you're supposed to be doing and wrapping up fast is not wrapping up fast. So the higher ups bring King to handle it. Honestly, I don't know what they're talking about wrapping up fast. In this case, I feel like someone is trying to hide something by saying that they want it to wrap up fast. So they brought King. When King tries to make bygones be bygones, that didn't turn out right. And King even noticed Tope and asked if Tope is a suspect. Singha, being the honest detective he is, he angrily told King that Tope is actually a witness. Now, originally, Tope wanted to leave and give King and Singha some time, but Singha doesn't want to stay around with King, and Singha doesn't want Tope to be around him, saying that he doesn't want Tope to be haunted by ghosts, which is an excuse that he doesn't want none of them to be around King. Michael is so fine. But anyways, Say went to Singha asking if Singha is okay knowing that his past is working with him. Yeah, Singha said he doesn't like it because he's going to talk to the chief one more time when not working with King. Then Singha found out that Darren is not feeling good, so he's staying home. But also there's some things that Say said he found out about. He has a colleague look into this old investigation, then found out there's so many leads that he found that is related to the one that he has that they're doing right now. And Singha doesn't want to work with King, who became the actual boss for him. He told Sid not to tell King yet until he figure out what to do about it. Or he said he wants to tell the chief himself. You know, I honestly thought King was an ex-partner relationship-wise for Singha, but I guess he's just an ex-partner in work. Also, they can't work together because both of them wants to be the lead of everything. But King wants the whole investigation to go fast too, but he suggests that he wants to put Tope into it as a suspect and not a witness. The reason King wants Tope to be the suspect instead of the witness is because with all the evidence that's piled up, none of it is connected to anything. Nobody's connection to anything. So they're trying to figure out who would be the last person to die in this one, like the very last person, because the timing is not adding up and they need to know the last person so they can just go along with that line. Now, Singha is not going to let Tope be the suspect because maybe some part of him believe what Tope believes in. So let's go back up in the past a little bit. Now, the reason Singha doesn't like King is because when they worked together before, they had a suspect. But in King's eyes, the suspect they had was the old fault for whatever that they're dealing with, right? But Singha believed that the suspect was not a suspect, but an innocent victim. Now, that innocent victim is dead. And because of that, he blames King for it because King is the one that put him into suspect, leading the innocent person to think that he is that wicked person and kill himself. Now, I don't know who to believe. I'm just saying that both were not on the right terms of this. One suspect that the person that died just like that because of his own action, while Singha believed that because of his innocence, he pressured his own believing that he was the reason that something wrong, and the victim ended up killing himself. Anyways, Singer went to his office and noticed that Toop is not in his office, so he went around asking where Toop is until he saw Toop coming in. Singer asked where Toop went, and Toop said he went to buy food. Honestly, it's the advertisement of the bread for me. Anyways, Singer said that they don't have time to eat, but Toop said he made it easier for them to eat because none of them ate anything. Then Singer said they had to hurry to go to somewhere for investigation. Toop originally doesn't want to go because, well, everywhere they go is like a ghost mind. But he's going because he can't stay in the office because there's also ghosts there too. So he wants to stay around his repellent. Meanwhile, at home, Darren is there, getting a call from Say called and tell him about King arrival at the precinct. And of course, Darren said he wants to go and see it for himself, even though it's his day off. But every little movement Darren makes is like a bad omen or something, and he keeps praying to the Buddha because everything is going not according to plan. Okay, so Singer with Top went to the victim's house, the very last person that was literally last death, I guess. The last person of the 7 that died, the last, was a transgender, and they went to the victim's house. Of course, King is there driving a different car because he can't stand King. So yeah. But the thing about it is that when they got to the house, no one answered. So King suggests that they go inside the house. Others like, isn't this violation? But King looked at Singer, since they both know that they need to get this investigation rolling. King looked at Singer and asked if Singer wants to wait until the victim's owner came, or they have to go in because it's urgent. Of course, Singer said they just take the key and go because apparently they know where the key is. While everyone went inside the house, Tob is inside the car while he got a visitor, an unwanted visitor, well, not really an unwanted visitor, but a ghost. That ghost turned out to be the victim of the house asking Toop for help. Toop went out the car, went into the house to the exact place where the ghost told him to go. Meanwhile, as King and Singer went further up into the house, the foul smell hit them like a bomb. When they got too close, they saw what really is doing the smell bad hitting. Sorry for my bad English. Anyways, turns out it's some ritual. Who did it? We don't know. Then Toop went to Singer, telling him he wants to talk to him in private while the others are talking to the father of the victim. Now, that father of the victim doesn't look all that angry and surprised knowing that there is police roaming around in the house without permission or a warrant, but to each his own, I guess. The father then complained that he doesn't want to do anything, he doesn't want to get involved with anything with his child because he believed that his child killed himself because he was in debt, and now that debt is passed on to the father. Then Singer came out with some documents stating that the victim, the transgender daughter, she didn't leave him with debt. What she did left him with was documents for the house and enough money for him. So while the father thought that maybe the child left with nothing, he left him with something. Now he's crying, regretting all that he did, like hating the child for no reason. With the help of Top, maybe the investigation will go faster, but it's kind of a mystery knowing that this boy knows stuff that they don't know, and even if he tells them the truth, I don't think most of them will understand or believe. King is very suspicious of Top and asking Singer how he met Top. Now, Singer does not like King or trust King for him to even give that information to him, even though King is supposed to be his boss. Yeah, it's not going to work out. Now, they're leaving, but Top got creeped out by the house a little bit, or he was staring at something, but Singer snapped him in. I swear, after the entire drama, they better went to Buddha or a temple or something, because this ain't right for this show. So while driving home, Singer asked Top how he knew about the documents and where to find them. Top said he wouldn't believe him and probably scold him, but Singer told Top to tell him. So he did tell him the truth about him seeing the actual victim, and the victim is the one that pointed those things to him. Now, even though Singer does not believe, I think he's kind of slowly is starting to believe, because what other reason is there? Then we see at the office, the chief is talking to one of the higher-ups that gave him the order to make this investigation run faster. But I forgot to mention that when Singer went to talk to the chief while King was there, he mentioned that Say told him that there is an identical thing that happened back into the past. So now they're working with this investigation plus another one that might be connected to it. But the thing about it is multiple areas have gone through the same place but different year. But the only thing the man can say is that the reason he brought King was to actually make this investigation run faster, because he doesn't want the reporters to get too deep into the information and send out misinformation. But I feel like they're hiding something. But the question is, what? Are the person who's hiding it probably the reason for all this is happening? But you know how it is with the higher-ups. They ain't gonna tell you nothing. They just want to let you finish their dirty work so everything can move on with everything. Which I feel like someone is behind this, but who can we say is behind everything? Meanwhile, at the lab, Say is showing Darren that he has a colleague that went through the similar thing with the bodies and everything, but this was in Chiang Mai a couple years ago. But also, there is more than that, not just Chiang Mai but other places like Bangkok and other. But the thing is, it's a couple of years, like 5 years each apart, which is very suspicious. Now, seeing the photos, Darren, who believes in supernatural stuff, believes that this is black magic, but Say, who believes in science and evidence between the eyes, he believes that it's just a serial killer doing a lot of things. When Singer and Top got home, Top explained to Singer that when he was staring at the house, he saw a ghost there, but the thing is, he doesn't believe the ghost belonged to the house, which again, Singer doesn't even believe these shit, but hey, you have to go with some hunch. Then Top started talking about how his ability to see ghosts is a curse, and how with Singer there, he can actually eliminate those ghosts from hunting him and coming towards him. And he feels like he believes the reason that is all happening is because of Singer's tattoo, which is a protection type of tattoo, and another little statue in Singer's house. Singer doesn't really believe that, but then Singer started thinking that maybe Top likes him and trying to persuade him or something like that, because yeah. While they're having their little crazy moment, in comes Say and Darren, because Say and Darren came up, discovered something, and they want to talk to Singer. Apparently, they don't want to talk to King because they know that King and Singer doesn't really get along, so the best person they decided to tell was Singer first. After getting to know Top a little better, Singer decided to excuse Top, because now business talk, because it's not have to do with Top anymore. When both Say and Darren asked about Top and what Singer is planning to do with Top, Singer said that Top, at first he wanted to just get rid of him, but he sees his values, considering he can see ghosts and he can help them with certain superstitious things. Okay, let's get down to business, why we're here. So Singer asked the two of them why they came, and Say and Darin told them about what they discovered about the Chiang Mai, about Say's colleague, about how they have a similar thing happening. Now, after getting that part of the information, Say and Darwin asking Singer if they should tell King, because remember, King is in charge of them. But Singer don't trust King and decided that they should look into it more before they even tell King about it. Then he looked at Tope because he believes Tope has some information as well, considering he draws these people and tells him about it before they actually told him about any of it. Okay, so Singer told Darren and Say that there's another place that the similarity of these things happen, and it was where Top lived with the monk, which means it's not just Chiang Mai or Bangkok, but other places. But when Top told them about it, he said it was 15 years ago, which the math are lining up differently. But in my head, maybe I'm thinking about it too obvious. Now, I saw someone did this on X, and when they did it, I'm like, okay, the math is mathing, but I'm not good at math, so I'm going to try to explain it how I can. Now, they said it happened 15 years ago, which was when Top was with the monk, right? But also there were 5 years apart. Look at it. 5 years before that, he was born, right? Something happened. It probably have something to do with sacrificial or something like that. Then 10 years add-on, which another 5 years other upon that one, then he was little, he saw it, which was 15 years ago. Looking at it now, 15 years later, he's 25 years old and it's happening again. So 5 years each happening, and it all concluded when Top was literally born. So maybe everything happened when he was born. It has everything to do with him and Singer, but I can't really calculate how Singer is involved in it. See the benefit of having a temple boy, because he grew up with supernatural things, and since they're dealing with supernatural things, might as well. Actually, it's getting late and they decided to leave. But before they leave, they didn't leave without teasing Singer. Apparently, they see a chemistry between Singer and Top, and Darren is warning Singer to not make this whole investigation become a romantic couple thing. Because, well, maybe they're kind of shipping to Singer and Top a little bit because they see the chemistry going on. And also they live together, so somewhere along the line, chemistry will build. I do love that even though Singer and King are not like close friends anymore, Singer as friends like Darren and Say and Meg. Now, even though they like working with King, they made sure that they're on Singer's side because why not? And these two, in the pilot, it was said that they were ex-lovers, like in a relationship. And even in the trailer, it said something like that. But it turns out they weren't in an ex-relationship. They were friends with benefits. What the hell? Now, when Singer came back inside, we see Toop is sleeping. And when I saw that, I was like, dude, there's no way in hell you slept with a short space of time that Singer went to go outside and talk to Say and Darren. That makes no possible task right there. Anyway, Singer's being a good person and covering Top up, but accidentally went too close to him. At this point, Top sure loves to keep him on his toes, but I can see the chemistry and I see the love slowly bonding. But the reason Singer is not really going into it is because, well, he's a witness and I'm not too sure if he wants to get involved in whatever it is that Toop is involved in. Also, it's giving Pit Babe, because in Pit Babe it's like the same thing. Only difference is, well, there's no difference. The attitude is still the same. After Singer turned off the light and went to his part of the section of room, we see that Toop was smiling, which means he was fully awake during all this thing. Yeah, you sneaky fox. You knew what you were doing. So it's the next day, and Toop definitely made himself useful by fixing the lights and actually making breakfast for them. Now, he's not making breakfast because Toop said he's afraid of using Singer's kitchen because he's not sure if Singer will be okay with him using the kitchen. So he said he bought breakfast. He even showed Singer receipts, proof that he bought breakfast. Now, the reason Toop gave the receipt to Singer is because he wants to use the receipt, like buying food, as his way of payment of rent while staying with Singer. Now, Singer said the food is cheap and his rent is not that cheap. But Top said he doesn't have money, so this is the only way he can pay off compensation, will literally letting him stay in the house. Which I get where Top is coming from, but where are you getting money to buy these little things? Okay, they don't really have much time to eat, so because Singer said they need to do more investigation by going back to the abandoned building and see if they can find any clues. Now, I agree with Top when he said that he doesn't want to go because that place is creepy. Yeah, it is creepy. But he has to because Singer says the only thing he has right now is Toop that can actually help him. Is either that or wait till King comes and make Toop become the suspect instead of the victim. I don't care about nothing else. I want to know how their relationship is going to develop into something romantic because, yes, at work, Singer put Top into a very important line of work by becoming the spiritual consultant because, if anything, because Top grew up with a monk, he knows everything spiritual, so and they're dealing with something strange and spiritual. So, Singer told Mick that if he wants anything about spiritual stuff, information, ask Toop. Man, Toop is actually getting a job before actually applying for one. Okay, so Singer is telling Meg about the information that he got from Say and Darian and how they are 5 years apart from each other in different locations, which means that this so-called serial killer is going all around the Thailand, but the question is why, and they don't know who. Also, Singer mentioned to Meg that he will tell the information to that to what's his name? What's his name? King, right? King. So yeah, I'm gonna mix up a lot of names. There's so much things going on in my mind. My head is hurting me, literally. Clearly, Toop has everything to do with it. He might not be the one casting all these casting stuff, but if he can see these things and it's happened every 5 years, even Eve witnessed it before, meaning he knows something. So why not just find a way to eliminate these things unless there were never anyone to eliminate from? Now, because Singer is going to leave Top for a little bit to go to meet someone, well, King, to talk to him about stuff, Singer said he doesn't want to leave Top alone because remember, Top is afraid of ghosts, or at least he doesn't want to be haunted by one. So because of the tattoo that Top explained what the tattoo does, Singer let Toop take a picture of his tattoo just to help him keep safe. But I don't think it's the tattoo that keeps him safe. I think it's the physical touch from Singer that keeps Toop safe. I love how happy and excited Toop is with Singer. I feel like Toop likes Singer first, but I don't want to make assumption just yet because maybe Singer slowly is liking Toop first, but I don't know yet. Okay, so we went to the chief, but chief is talking to the king. I think I made the information a little bit backwards. Again, my brain is working because before I said that the chief talked to the higher ups about the information that they know, but turns out that didn't happen. So my brain is all over the place. But anyways, Singer went to the chief to tell the chief what he discovered along with Say and Darin. But then the chief is like, why didn't you tell King since King is in charge of your team? Singer is basically brushing it off because they know, and the chief knows that King and Singer don't get along with each other yet. Here we are talking about information that they don't want to talk about. Anyways, after hearing this information, their dumbfounded because now they're realizing that this investigation is not going to go as fast as the higher ups want it to be, but it has to because that's what they're supposed to be doing. Again, they're hiding something. I think Toop has photogenic memory. But anyways, Toop is inside Singer's office because he asked permission to be in his office so he can use a paper to draw. But the paper that Singer is using to draw is some kind of form. I can't read Thai, so I don't know if it's either a form that has to do with Singer, if it's a resignation form, if it's something has to do with Top, I don't know. But he just drew on a paper that has to be important. So yeah, the drama end with that cliffhanger with Toop having a form that I don't know what that says, but I'm pretty sure next week they'll probably tell me what it says. But yeah, that is the end of the recap. So bye. Oh, also, if you're like me and you don't like supernatural things, I highly require you or highly recommend you not to watch it at night and sleep with night lights because that's exactly what I do. Sleep with night lights. I don't like to do this. The fact that I woke up 4 o'clock to do this recap is something else. Anyways, that's it.